play a game.
Today I'm gonna give you my ranking of the opening premonitions / disasters of all 5 Final Destination movies. Now, I think most of these openings are great. They all do awesome stuff to set up the entire movie, kind of gets you into the mood of the movie. So yeah, I think most of these openings are great besides one, which if you saw my review series, you know I pretty much hate one of these movies. Same for the opening. So this is worst to best, of course. So number 5, my least favorite opening by far of this series is the Final Destination's opening, the NASCAR Crash. Now, I think this opening is so rushed, so quickly paced, and they give us all these characters that we do not end up caring about at all in the movie. And you see really quick that this is going to be a terrible CGI crap fest. Just some like terrible CG like motors going on to people at the beginning of this movie and all this terrible explosions. Just like the crash of the cars coming in beyond the fence. It's just so quick. It's so rushed that it just doesn't set up or build up anything to set up the mood of the movie that, you know, builds some suspense or anything. And you barely see any of the characters that we're going to get to know throughout the movies, and then you end with this terrible, like, are you out of your freaking mind? And this girl,
You all lost your fucking mind?
gets hit by a tire, and then you cut to credits. For me, this is by far the worst opening in the series. Don't give a crap about anything going on. And when I saw this in the theaters after this opening, I was like kind of like sat in my chair like, oh my gosh, I hope the rest of this movie does not suck. But unfortunately it does. So yeah, by far the worst opening for me is the NASCAR Crash from the Final Destination. Now, there's a giant leap, I think, in quality after this movie. The rest of these openings are great in their own ways. I love the rest of these openings. They all do great to set up the mood and the foreboding of the rest of the movie. So yeah, here on out, I love the rest of these openings, but I had to put them in some sort of order. So my number 4 opening, I'm going to give it to the plane crash scene from the original. Now, I love this opening, but there's just some I like more than this one. But when this movie first came out, this opening blew my mind. This French clash goes onto this plane, and you get this awesome opening crash scene. And I think it's a really done opening. It just doesn't feel as big as some of the other movies' openings in the series. And then I love like when they're all in the airport and you see the plane blow up in the distance through the window, and then the window blows up, and then you realize for the first time in this series that what's going on, there's this premonition and it came true. I absolutely love this opening, just not my favorite of the series. Still such a well done opening, and I do think that the opening credits and like the foreboding and everything is probably the best in the series to set up the mood and the tone of the movie. I think they do so good. Even like when Todd and Alex is in the bathroom, they hear the John Denver song, just more foreshadowing of the movie to come. So I think this is a great opening. Just the plane crash just feels a little smaller than the others, so I had to put it at number 4, but still love this opening. Now I think we're getting to some really stellar openings. My 3rd favorite opening of the series, I'm going to give it to the roller coaster crash from Final Destination 3. Now, I love this opening. I love that the group of people we meet is already at this carnival. We get introduced to Wendy. She's one of my favorite characters in the whole series. Mary Elizabeth Winstead plays her so good. They do some foreboding. This has some very great opening credits as well that I really like just as much as the first movie. And Wendy, they're getting ready to go on a roller coaster, and Wendy just feels like something bad is going to happen. I just like how her boyfriend tells her it's just, you feel like you're losing control because she's like a control freak. I also love like Tony Todd's voice in the roller coaster. He's like playing the demon or devil. He's the voice of the roller coaster ride. I think that was great. And then like the effects and everything of the actual roller coaster crash, I think is so well done. And you got some great deaths in the opening. And just the thought of being on a roller coaster and the roller coaster just crashing, derailing, is terrifying. And I love the last part of this too, where they're hanging the roller coaster is upside down in the loop and they're falling off, and you're trying to, could you imagine hanging on for dear life, trying to hold on? If you let go, you're gonna die. I just think that's truly terrifying, and this is easily, I think, one of the coolest openings. Just the fact that they did decide to do this on a roller coaster, just stellar stuff. I absolutely love the Final Destination 3's opening. Now we're to the top two, my second favorite opening of the series, which for a very long time it was my favorite, is the pile-up car accident from Final Destination 2. I think this is such a stellar, well done opening. And this is still at a time in the series where a lot of the car wrecks and stuff in this is like for real done stuff. It's not, CGI is not overused yet in this series. And this opening scene kind of starts off with the cop is behind the log truck and the logs fall off and it goes through him and his entire car. Just a stellar way to open this accident. And then you get this amazing pile up. You even get one of them in the sports car. He's like burning alive. I can't imagine to think of being burned alive. That's got to be one of the most probably horrific ways to die. And he's yelling in agony. And then you get like the truck going towards Kim with her and her friends in the vehicle, and it shows that she's getting ready to die. And I also love that her friends, they died last in the premonition, they die first, and that ties into the story later. So overall, this pile up is so intense, so well done. I think it's a truly amazing opening and easily one of the best openings of this series. But my top favorite opening of this series, I am going to give it to the bridge collapse from Final Destination 5. I think a lot of this is because the effects are amazing, and just like seeing some of the shots of the bridge itself collapse, it like some of the ways some people are dying, like trying to get to the end of the bridge, like just giant wires that hold up the bridge hitting people. You got like a guy hanging off the side of the bridge and like a tar truck falls over him and he like melts away, or you see like his skin comes off of his hands. And you got like a Candace, she like falls and she like falls onto a sailboat and the sailboat impels her. And then you got Olivia, she falls into the water and a car falls on top of her. Then you get like Sam, he gets Molly across the bridge and like they're hanging off a rail, him and Peter. And I love like when Sam jumps from the bridge and the bridge, you see the bridge start collapsing behind him when he jumps, and you get like an awesome wide long shot of the bridge collapsing. Way better special effects than part 4. And then you actually see Sam like kind of dying. You see him getting cut up by some metal pieces or from a truck. And yeah, overall I think Final Destination 5 feels like it has the biggest opening of the series, some of the best special effects of the series, and it's just some amazing shots in this opening. I just think the bridge collapse was a super great idea for the 5th movie in the series for the opening. So yeah, that was my favorite opening. That was my ranking of the openings of the Final Destination series. Now go down in the comment section below. Definitely give me your ranking of the openings of this series. I think this series overall had mostly great openings. And definitely hit that like button and subscribe to this channel if you love all things horror. This channel is fully dedicated to horror films. And stay tuned, in the next few days I will definitely be doing a ranking of the Final Destination movies. Stay tuned for that, and I will be seeing you guys really soon. I'll see you guys next time.